Welcome to Rhymes Times Thoughts, an everyday guy, everyday thoughts, talking about random things in the past, present, and future. So tune in, and thank you for tuning in. Rhymes Times Thoughts is coming up right now.
Hey guys, welcome to Rhymes Times Thought. I just thought this would be a great theme on this topic. I decided just to show just a little picture in a sense, and not a video of me talking or anything, because I don't want anything to detract from this topic. I mean, it's amazes me. Unfortunately, in today's world, we can see racism front and center in the world of politics. Thanks to accessibility, reach on technology. Despite this, one major problem is that I see people do not seem to care about racism as much as they should. Maybe they say it's not their neighbor. Maybe it is their neighbor and it's isolated. Maybe they think it doesn't affect them. It's another state. I'm in a different state. It's amazing, but it does affect us. I mean, we're seeing it in politics more brazen than ever, thanks to some of the laws coming to different states and their House and their Senate. This is even happening at the highest level in Washington. I mean, you think about it. Many states, laws that have racism undertone, it's there, you can read it. Some examples include laws that restrict the rights of certain groups, laws that make it difficult for certain groups to access housing, employment, and laws that criminalize specific behavior or beliefs. And what is important to hold individuals accountable, it's true, for their action, but that issue runs much deeper than any one person or instance. I mean, you see it. To keep racism in America is really difficult. It's not that difficult at times. Discrimination that people of color face, people from working on projects that focus on racism, particular areas, just like teachers, some of the ways how racism occur in our schools now, it's as it can be sensitive topic that can lead to open discussion between students, faculty, all that now that's hindered. You see in some states that they don't even want that. How to keep racism easy, going stronger than ever, it's not to educate people in it. There's one state that decided to take, or states that take book out of library because a small majority thought it was bad. But at the same time, a judge said, put the books back. And what does a certain state does? Instead of putting it back, that it would rule illegal, they decided to defund the libraries. So now libraries can't run. It has to be private donors. So what if people don't have computers? What if people don't have TVs? In the old days, they would go to the library and learn. I remember going to the library to do reports. I had to pull out books and look at one book over another to really get an understanding what I'm reading. Teachers say, hey, make sure you have the right referrals and resources. Can't be a news article. It had to be a certain way that we run our reports. It made you look at different resources. But why is that important? Accountability in the issues runs deeper, doesn't it? I mean, it's crazy how to keep racism strong is to not educate people. Don't have the open discussions. Just totally take it away. And if it doesn't affect you, oh, that's in another state. Really? Isn't that what happened with the ruling on abortion? And I'm not saying I'm pro-life, whatever. I'm just saying it did affect everybody. And right now it's still affecting us because a small group wants it completely wiped out. But one judge rule, it could affect all of the states. So what is going on? I mean, it isn't up to all of us to address racism. It is. It's ingrained in our society and politics system as well. We just see it more upfront because technology is better. We don't have a cell phone that takes 30 minutes to charge when it's actually runs out of juice. Hey, cell phones, it didn't cost a minute and something for 1 minute to talk on the cell phone. It's a lot cheaper. So we have access to a lot more. So what are we going to do? Racism is just not a problem with individuals anymore. It's not isolated in incident, but rather is provision. It is really everywhere. I mean, everywhere aspect of our lives. And only by recognizing and taking action steps to really combat it can we have hope to make progress towards equal opportunities. But why aren't we up for more up in arms about that? I mean, look, we even saw that they even want a certain group not even to be able to play any sports. Not like, hey, they should have their own league or anything. No, let's just wipe them off completely of not playing any sports. But if they don't know who they are yet, it doesn't matter. They should know. That's the attitude that we have. Leaders who use racism as a tool to further their agenda. You could see it right up in front. Individuals who choose to remain silent in the face of such action must be held accountable as well. You must be accountable for it as well if you let it continue to happen. If you don't speak up, you're just helping racism system keep going on and on and on. Ultimately, it's all responsibility. Falls on all of us to active work towards making the world better at racism, making it not happen. It's in your face. It's every day. It's just not your neighbor anymore. It's just not that you could make or do something because it's your neighbor. It's bigger than that. It's always been. So what does it take? I mean, really, what does it take to have free from discrimination? I mean, from oppression. I mean, does that sound bad? It doesn't. I mean, everybody's biased in one way or another, but racism is a lot deeper than that. So what are we going to do about it? Seriously. It's really up to us all to take responsibility. We need to take responsibility. If you see it happening, I mean, you must take some action. It doesn't mean you have to jump the person, beat up the person. Words are just as strong, but words are strong if you do it in an education and respectful way. It gets through people a lot easier than just shouting out and making it worse. You shout, you give them, you confirm what they think about you. But if you calm and talk about it, maybe you might just change a little at a time. I mean, I'm up for that. I mean, don't we want to be victorious on something that is so strong that affects all the United States in the world? I mean, what do you want? I mean, I definitely want to give out more love to everybody. And I try in a more educated way, more loving way to combat that and not let them feed off my anger, me upset that they could say that's why they're racism, because they judge an individual just on their action. They do. But what if you do it in a positive way and educate them? You might change that. So this topic, of course, is look around. Look at politics. Look at how racist it is. Does it really matter if they're a Republican or Democrat? Does it matter what house has the power, the House or Senate in any state? if you let people that are racism against a certain group, or they're not educated, it does affect you. Even if they're your party, it doesn't mean they don't help you to have a better life, because racism hits everybody. So I just want to take this time today just to really talk about that on this topic. But thank you for tuning into Rhymes Times Thoughts. I mean, I appreciate you. You could catch me on Instagram, Rhymes Times. You could catch me on YouTube, Rhymes Times Thoughts. You could catch me on Spotify or Anchor as Rhymes Times Thoughts. But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this topic. I will have more coming, different topics as we go along. But thank you. Make sure you say like, make comments, and see if there's any more suggestions you have. But like I said, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you have a really great time. Once again, this is Rhymes Times Out. That's right. This topic is kind of touchy, but hey, we need this talk for sure. So tune in, keep on smiling, and keep on having a great time.